Hi y'all, I have a pattern for us today. It is a 4-point, very loosely stitched granny poncho. Have you noticed that ponchos are back in style again? I know, I love it. I love to wear me a poncho. But just like anything else that's in fashion, and when it comes back around, it doesn't come back the same way. So, for today's project, we're going to need a few things. Needle for weaving in the ends. There's not going to be a whole lot of ends with mine because I'm using this variegated yarn. Super Saver Bitty Stripes. I have 2 of these. So a little over 1,000 yards. And it is in the colorway Sunset Beach. I have some stitch markers. You're going to need about 4 of them. Something to snip the yarn. And I have a chain of 120 and a size 5.5 millimeter hook. Y'all don't need my help to make a chain of 120, but I'm going to run this through my hands and make sure that nothing is twisted. Can't have it all twisted up. So make your chain of 120. Make sure there's no twist in it, because when we get down to the end, we are going to slip to close, and that'll be our foundation neckline. Okay. Go right in there. Get your working yarn. Sometimes I pick up that tail and start working with the tail. I don't want to do that. That's embarrassing. Okay, and we have slipped to close. Chain 1. And that really doesn't count for anything. We're going to go right back in to that stitch we just came out of with a double crochet. And we're going to pop a double crochet into each chain for 30 stitches. This is going to be, we're working on the neckline right now. I haven't been counting very well, have I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 27, 28, 29, and 30. Chain 2. Go on to the next stitch. Start your count of 30 again. 1, 2. In your chain 2, you might want to use one of your stitch markers and pop yourself a little marker right in there. So there's 4, 5, 30. And I'm going to just go back and count again, because once you get your foundation set up, there's not a whole lot of counting to it. We're going to go by landmarks thereafter, but getting this foundation set up, very important to have an accurate count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 20, 27, 28, 29, 30. Chain 2 and go into the next stitch. We're going to go across with 30 more. And I'm going to put a stitch marker right in that chain 2. On the next row, it's going to be real easy to blow right past those corners. Okay, so that's what we're going to do all the way around. 30 stitches, chain 2, place a stitch marker, 30 stitches, chain 2, place a stitch marker. And in these corners, we are not going into the same stitch. We're going on to the next stitch. See how that works? There's stitch number 30, chain 2, and then in the next stitch is where we start our double crochet and start our count again. Okay, get all the way around to where we started, and I'll meet you back there. Okay, all the way back around. And when you lay your work out on your surface, you should have something that looks like, let me see if I can adjust it a little bit, a square. You've got 30 stitches, 30 double crochets, chain 2, mark your spot, 30 stitches. And that's going to be the neckline. Okay, when you've made your last segment of 30 stitches, we're going to use that half double closure. Yarn over, go through the top of the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through everything. After you've made your half double closure, chain 2, and that counts as your first double crochet in this cluster. A granny cluster is 3 double crochets in the same spot. So there's a granny cluster. 1, 2, 3, right there. Now, moving on, what we're going to do here and throughout the pattern, we're going to skip, chain 2, skip 3. 1, 2, 3. Working into the space between the stitches, we're going to make another granny cluster. Chain 2, skip 3. Granny cluster. Cluster, chain 2, skip 3. How's it going so far? You're doing all right. Yeah, these granny ponchos were popular when I was a kid. I loved them. They were as warm as a coat. And made 'cause Granny loved you. Chain 2, skip 3, granny cluster, and that should bring you right up to your stitch marker. Don't forget your chain 2s. See, you skip 3 and you're right up here to that chain 2 space. We're going to make our first corner. It's real easy. If you've done granny squares before, it's exactly the same. I'm going to go granny cluster, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, granny cluster, all in that chain 2 space. And that'll be our first corner. Now, for my own self, I am going to put that stitch marker back in there until I get a little more established. I'm going to use them stitch markers. Alrighty, now you know what to do. We're going to begin again. We got our granny cluster, chain 2, skip 3, granny cluster. And we're going to do that same process all the way across this row until we get to our chain 2 space. You get in your rhythm a little bit. Chain 2, skip 3, granny cluster. Chain 2, skip 3, granny cluster. When you're planning out your colors for your project, do you have an outfit in mind that you want to wear it with? Or do you take your project with you and go buy yourself a new blouse? Chain 2, skip 3, cluster. We are coming up to that next corner. Chain 2, skip 3. 1, 2, 3. I can count to 3. I can count to 3 with my shoes on. Okay, don't forget them chain 2s. We're up to our next stitch marker. We're going to make another corner. That would be cluster, chain 2, cluster. I am going to pop that stitch marker right back in there. I suppose I could do it without, but why? It's not like you're cheating. You're using a tool. Okay. We got two of those sides done. I think y'all can do it from here. So your corners are granny cluster, chain 2, granny cluster. Chain 2 between all your clusters down the side. And that's why I used chain 2, skip 3, cluster. Chain 2, skip 3, cluster. All the way down the sides. So we've done 2 sides together. You can do 2 sides. And we'll get back to that beginning, way back here. How'd you do? You get all the way back around? We are going to do another one of those half double closures right here in the middle. Chain 2. Now this is going to start your repeat row. It's going to be a 1-row repeat throughout the rest of your project. You just keep going and going and going. Your increases are built into the corner, and you go with this till your garment is as long as you want it. Ready? It's granny cluster time. Those first 2 chains count as a double crochet. 2 double crochet right next to it, chain 2. Granny cluster in each of your chain 2 spaces all the way across. Chain 2 and cluster. Chain 2 and cluster. See what I mean about you catch your rhythm, and once your foundation setup is done, there's really not much counting to it. We're going completely by landmarks and working into those chain 2 spaces. Where we're making the chain 2s in this round, we're sitting up for the next round. Cluster, chain 2 and cluster, and then when we come up to the stitch marker, that's going to be a corner just like we've made in past. We're going to do it again. Okay, we are up to our corner. Cluster, chain 2 and cluster. And that's it, y'all. That's all there is to it. You keep going until your garment is as long as you want it. So in your repeat row, we're going to do the half double closure, so our stitches come out right in the middle of that join. We're going to chain 2, cluster, chain 2, cluster. All of your clusters are going to be worked in the chain 2 spaces of the previous row. Your corners, when you get to the corners, you're going to go cluster, chain 2, cluster, chain 2, and carry on with more clusters and chain 2s. That's it. If you decide to make this project, please post some pictures. I'd love to see what y'all are doing. But I'm going to carry on stitching. I think that's it for me this week. Thank you.